So there's this song, Luigi, that my friend, my sister, Isis sent me, and also my other sister, Erica, also showed me about a song with Teddy Swims and Giveon, and it's called Are You Even Real? I think that's the name of the song. It just came out. And the irony of it is that Giveon is on the record, which is great because Giveon's been on the milk carton for the past couple of years. Okay, I think I shared with you before that Giveon and Daniel Caesar, who are on Peaches, which is probably where most people know them popularly, but before then they were becoming R&B staples in their own vein. Giveon was discovered by Drake, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. Okay, and Daniel Caesar is also from Canada, okay, as an R&B singer. And they both were really carving out some real good careers for themselves. Daniel Caesar was doing duets with Brandy, and he also had a good penchant for making R&B songs with females that were very much translating. And Giveon, of course, has that baritone voice that when you hear his voice, you know exactly who he is. And when you make good songs, that really catapults you if your voice is that recognizable. But their last two albums were basura. Horrible. And I killed them for it because they should know better. I have a term that I use in past podcasts where I says a lot of times with this independent artist or these artists on their own, what they're missing is a talented executive in the room. Almost like who is the Clive Davis to Whitney Houston? Who is the Sean Combs to Notorious B.I.G.? Otherwise, B.I.G. is not B.I.G. There needs to be that person. But going back, this Teddy Swims Giveon record is so good, and Giveon doesn't recognize that Teddy Swims, who is a Caucasian artist that does R&B music, has taken his spot. He hasn't even realized this, which is ironic. If he has, he's hurt in his own little way. But I don't think he realizes this because he's on the record. The way it's supposed to be is that Giveon is supposed to have this record with Teddy Swims guesting on the record, not the other way around. But it's almost like it's just a little bit baby surreal how he doesn't recognize where he stands, and it's just a little bit of a problem. Anyway, I can go off another 20 minutes. Goju Nation, here we are. Industry rule number 4080. Yes, I'm going to slow down. My name is Tally. Where are we? Oh, 2025, the number. Another winter. Here we are, Goju Nation. Season 3, Episode 6. Let's go.
Industry rule number 4080. Industry rule number 4080. Record company people are shady. Industry rule number 4080. Record company people are shady.
Oh, you. And then it's crazy because Teddy Swims' alto pauses and literally Giveon's baritone comes right in, and the contrast is so strikingly well done. And so they you know what? I'm gonna put this in the atmosphere. They almost should do a couple more records together. Like there was a time like in the late 70s where artists would do records together, and when the records became hits, it would become a thing. Whereas the chemistry was so strong, they just would not do it. Okay, so there's classic things like Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway. They was in records together. There's Lionel Richie and Diana Ross did a few songs together at some point in time. Moving back to like the Casey and JoJo and Mary J. Blige did a few records together because of the chemistry, although they were dating at the time. So there are some times where you should let that magic kind of continue and connect. And that'll be a little bit of thing we're going today. Because today, what we're doing, Goju Nation, we're doing album reviews. That's what we're talking so musically today. All right? You're appreciated and respected as always, Goju Nation. Catch the socials. Threads, X, Facebook, IG, and of course here at YouTube, at Gotham Jungle. One word on all platforms. Like, follow, share, subscribe, comment. And you'll become an official member of Goju Nation. And don't forget, this is like probably the most important reason why I'm saying this. Okay? You got to get me on the comments and on the DMs and rate, review the episodes. Let me know how we're doing, how we're looking, what we could do to be better. I need that information from you guys because as you tell me what is better, we'll work on being better. And that is the way I would like it to go, and I think that'd be the best reciprocal way for you guys to let me know how much you're interested. All right? Here at Industry Rule number 4080, you get the go-to podcast for the most comprehensive discussions on music, culture, relationship, and the hidden truths of industry. And as your host, I am charged with providing that qualitative content. And today's episode is a deep dive into 4 recently released albums that, I won't say find the current soundscape, but they're in the current soundscape. And just so you're aware, because you might have been busy the past few weeks or so working on dealing with other things rather than caring about what music is out. So I'm here to provide that for you, all right? We're going to talk about the latest SZA release, the latest release from Reggie Noble. If you know who he is, you know what I'm talking about. The latest release from Andrew Young and Calvin Rodas, if you know who they are. And the latest release from Fat Joe. All right? We'll talk about the creative concepts they had, the production, the guest appearances, and how each project stacks up in today's landscape, and if it's good, if it's not good critically. Okay? With that being said, let's get the qualified, verified, and certified on these albums. Let's go. First album is SZA's S.O.S. Deluxe album, subtitled Lana. It's basically an expanded edition of SZA's already iconic S.O.S. S.O.S. has gotten Grammy nominations in 2 years in a row, and the album came out maybe 2.5 years ago. Now, if you like the original album, which was packed with emotion, then prepare for this 15-track, yes, I said it, 15-track expansion. Okay? Typically, SZA has mastered the art of balancing intimacy with bold experimentation. Does she continue that trend? We'll delve into what's qualified. The qualified. All right? Now, let's be clear. SZA isn't just a singer. She's a storyteller. Her lyrics pull you into her world of heartbreak, self-discovery, sustained intimacy, and unfiltered vulnerability. Tracks like Annihilation and Burn the Pages explore these themes of identity and resilience. Blending warm analog synth chords with experimental tempos. But for clarity, these extra songs don't necessarily add to the album. They supplement the album. Okay? Key. That's the qualified. The verified. Let's talk about the producers on this project. Rob Beisel and Benny Blanco return to craft soundscapes that feel slightly cinematic, keyword slightly. Thank God for Cody, who helped define the sound on the Control album that CRTL also contributes. Highlight Kendrick Lamar's appearance on 30 for 30. That's the standout. Okay, radio has already gravitated to this one. They've already got it, so you might be hearing it as it is right now. His verse is as sharp as it gets and very introspective, providing perfect counterbalance to SZA's more melodic approach. Definitely worth a second listen. Might be something you want to add to your playlist. 30 for 30. SZA featuring Kendrick Lamar. And now, here's what's certified. And the C. Other critics, not me, are calling this album or this deluxe edition a masterpiece. Pitchfork gave it a glowing review, stating that it balances the ambling indie R&B of Control with the forthright hooks of S.O.S. Sounds like fluff just trying to write a review. Commercially, with this new release, the album is catapulted back to number 1 in the top 200. And that's proving SZA's unparalleled influence in the game as being probably the preeminent writer, definitely the preeminent writer in current R&B right now. Okay? But look, this is a collection of extra songs. Okay? Probably the collection or the collective that did not make the initial album. So they said, we'll put out another version. Okay? It's a deliberate, cohesive expansion of the S.O.S. narrative. Yet, if you're looking for a project that speaks to modern R&B, the Lana S.O.S. Deluxe album is definitely it. Right? Cute and sweet, right? All right, next album. Reggie Noble. Okay? People who are of a certain age know who Reggie Noble is. For those who don't, we're diving into Muddy Waters 2 by Redman. This was a special treat for all the core hip-hop heads who have been craving that classic hip-hop energy. All right? And here's what's qualified. Okay? This is a 32-track, yes, Luigi, 32-track sequel to Redman's classic 1996 album, Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters. Right off the bat, you could tell this is a labor of love. Redman captured the chaotic, funkadelic vibe of the original while infusing just enough modern elements to keep it fresh. Tracks like Dope Addict and Schizo Flow are quintessential Redman flow. Okay? Raw, funny, unapologetic, authentic. He's not trying to fit in today's society. So do not, if you are into Young Thug, if you like Little Uzi Vert, this is not for you. Not for you. Okay? If you like Naughty by Nature in their heyday, if you are a Nas, Jay-Z, Method Man, Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep fan, Busta Rhymes type stuff in their heyday, this is where you land. This is okay, now I'm good. All right? But this is definitely not J. Cole. Definitely not. All right? He's not trying to fit today's mold, not at all. Okay? He's reminding us of why his style, when he was key in the game, became iconic in the first place. Okay? Here's what's verified. The production lineup is nothing short of legendary. Eric Sherman of EPMD. Luigi, if you didn't know, EPMD is the group that put Redman on the map. Okay? And Rockwalla, all right, who did the Rockwalla for Method Man and Redman, right? He's the secondary producer that helped define Redman's sound. And he's all over this album. Okay, so the sound is right there. And both of them, bless them, do not sound like, they just like Redman. Okay, they sound like they've aged nicely. And they're making very good tracks that fit the project and don't make him sound old or dated. Just sounds like a current version of them as producers. So they did a good job there. Delivering beats that feel like a time capsule. See, I wrote that down already. I just went off on a tangent. From the golden era of hip-hop, which debatable because people think the late 80s is the golden era. But then since everybody's a 90s baby in this world and day and age, they probably think the 90s is the best hip-hop. Another podcast. But Redman also brings in newer talent like Hallway Productions, who added a contemporary twist, and the guest list is wild. Ready? Method Man's on the album. Snoop is on the album. KRS-One's on the album. Ready for this? Shaquille O'Neal's on the album. Okay? And Shaq doesn't sound horrible, but here's the thing. Redman's from Newark, New Jersey. And he has a posse cut, which I forget the name, but you've all heard Rapper's Delight, right? Okay, remember the intro before the beat comes in? So that's the loop. That's the loop, okay? And he has, on this record, every single New Jersey rapper that ever counted. So, Naughty by Nature's on the record. Queen Latifah's on the record. Lords of the Underground's on the record. Nikki D's on the record. No, not Nikki. Heather B is on the record. I'm not exaggerating. And I'm missing 7 other acts. His posse cut might be 12 minutes long. Okay, and they're all on it. But at the end of it, from a nostalgic standpoint, you can respect the fact that Redman went and got every rapper from New Jersey and put him on a record. Think about that. Think about an artist going and saying, I'm going to get every rapper from Brooklyn. That sounds like a lot to do, right? So the record's cool, okay? But that's a good job. That's what's verified. Here's what's certified. Critically, and today's music critics probably should not be judging this album because they might not have even been born when Redman was really doing what Redman was doing. But it's being praised, rightfully so, for its ability to blend nostalgia with innovation. That's very accurate. Okay, I'm saying this. This is Redman's best album since his early success when he first came into the game. Okay, and I have to admit, I didn't think, Luigi, I can get through 32 songs. Like when I saw the track, I was like, this is too damn much. Okay. But it was seamless. It was seamless. I was working while I was doing it. It kind of came and kind of went. I kind of was like, I enjoyed myself. Okay. Now, if you crave that raw, unfiltered 90s nostalgic hip hop energy, this album delivers. It's proof that Redman, you're going to like this analogy, is Nolan Ryan. Look him up if you know who he is. He has not lost a mile on his fastball. Muddy Waters 2, Redman. Definitely, if you're a fan, go get it. Okay? On the other side of the country, from the Mount Rushmore of the West Coast, we have Snoop Dogg's Missionary. Okay? This album marks a major full album reunion with Dr. Dre since the first full-length collaboration of Doggy Style in 93. And what year is this? 2025? That is 32 years ago. Holy crap. That's a long time. Now here's the cue. The name Missionary, which you kind of can put together, is a snarky nod to its predecessor, Doggy Style. But this project is more than nostalgia. About more than nostalgia. Snoop and Dre have crafted an album that feels like a love letter to eras past. Okay? With enough modern touches, just enough to keep it relevant. Tracks like Thank You and Gorgeous features Jhené Aiko. Showcases Snoop's ability to balance introspection with his signature swagger. Because remember, Snoop is a swagger. Snoop is not a lyrical rapper, okay, although he has lyrical bright spots. He is a swagger voice rapper, okay? Because how many rappers can go 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4 and make it sound good? That's how you know it's his voice, okay? And his swagger, how he does it. He makes regular things sound nice. That's what he does, okay? That's the signature swagger. Now, here's the V. The V. Dr. Dre's production, as always, is immaculate. The sonic quality of this album, how it sounds, like even if you don't like his production, if you just want to learn about how things should sound, you should listen to how he produces. I don't know if you notice, share a story with you, okay? Dr. Dre was influenced by Tribe Called Quest, okay? When Tribe Called Quest did Low End Theory, that's here we go, yo, right? Sonically, as well as musically, is what really had people losing their minds. Because when you heard it, like really up close, it really, really reverberated sound-wise. And Dr. Dre was like, my music doesn't sound, it's a different production style, but it doesn't hit like that. It doesn't bang like that. And Dr. Dre became driven to make sure that his music qualitatively and sonically sounded as good, if not better. So he went from working in a recording studio, I know this, to he records and mixes all his songs at a sound studio that makes movies. So he just has he has a movie production soundboard where he goes to a studio and he has one in his house. So it's not a recording studio; it's a sound studio. Okay, and that was his answer to Tribe Called Quest. He'll tell you that. He'll say I'm not making this up. He will tell you that Tribe Called Quest influenced me to mix my songs better and stuff like that. So one of the things you always look forward to a Dre production is the sonic quality of how it is. Like, it's so refreshing. It doesn't sound dirty. It doesn't sound unmixed. It sounds perfect. It sounds very good. Beats are polished and melodic as always. Unmistakably West Coast, although it's universal. It's not West Coast where you feel like you're stuck in the middle. You can listen to it wherever you are. You don't sound, some regions are so regional with their sound, they can't get out of their own way. And someone said they can only make records for their region. That's not what Dre does. That's the nicest way I can say that. Okay. And also what Mr. Young does to Mr. Brodus is he pushes him. He pushes him to be better lyrically, flow-wise, and style-wise. Okay. Which, if you listen to other appearances he has, you could tell he got in there and did what he had to do, but you almost feel like you almost feel like he did his verse and says, "Thank you, Snoop," rather than saying, "Nah, do it again. Nah, you could do better. Nah, you could write better. Write about this." That's what Dre does to Snoop. He makes him work harder. And you could tell. You could tell within the results, because the flow, the catchiness, the melodics that he says, it just sounds so much like, okay, almost what it's supposed to be. There are unique relationships that should never separate because they just work together. And of course, we know this. I'm just reiterating that Snoop and Dre together is Snoop and Dre together. It's just different. It's not going to be like anybody else. It's not Snoop with Pharrell. It's not Snoop working with Kanye. It's not Snoop. It's Snoop with Dre. It's different. It's different. And you can tell he pushes him. And it improves the quality of the album by him doing so. Okay? So you receive a version of Snoop that only could be heard by working with Dre, as I basically said, I'm reiterating. Guest appearances. Have you heard this album yet? Okay. There's a record with Eminem and 50 Cent. He should have called the song First Round Draft Picks. And the song is missing two people. It's missing Game, it's missing Kendrick. Dre should do an album called First Round Draft Picks. That's a great title, by the way. He should do it and have all of them on the album. Like a Dre album with Eminem records, 50 Cent records, Snoop records, Kendrick records, and Game. And that's it. That would be a good compilation album. Good marketing tool, too. Anyway, he better pay me if he does it. Also, Jhené Aiko, as I said, is on Gorgeous. That's a great song, by the way. Radio has definitely gravitated towards that one. Ready for this? Sting is on the album. Vocals on a song called Another Part of Me. Like Sting, it's not a Sting sample. Like they sample Sting, but Sting comes to the studio to record a record with Snoop Dogg. That's what actually happens, okay? It works. It works. It doesn't sound misplaced. It's like they tried something, they failed. They tried, it's like, okay, it works. It works. But don't miss out on a song called Out of the Blue with the singer Lust. That's the record. That's the record where, like, it doesn't matter if it was 1993, 2003, 2013, that record works. Don't miss that one, okay? Like, literally, do some homework. Out of the Blue, Dre and Snoop. That's a good record. It's a good record, okay? So what's the C? I went on for the V for it. What's the C? What is certified? Critics are divided. I'm not. Again, I think critics should not necessarily, I'm hoping that whatever social media, whatever publication, whatever entity it is, I hope they're putting the right people on these reviews rather than just putting people on these reviews. Because, again, the person that might be reviewing this album may not have been alive when Doggy Style came out. So to review it doesn't make too much sense if they're not even relevant to be there when the first record counted, to have context. You know what I mean? So while some praise this return to the classic West Coast sounds, others feel like it leans too heavily on being West Coast or nostalgic. But what is Dre supposed to do? Make a down south record? What is Snoop supposed to do? Rhyme like Jay-Z? What is he supposed to do? Like this is what they are. Okay? Personally, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be nostalgic. Because, watch this analogy. Watch this. Would you want Mariah Carey to make records like SZA? Because SZA's now, Mariah's then? That would make no damn sense. Right? We'd be mad at her saying, why are you trying to sound like SZA? We want Mariah to sing to that 6-range singing. That's what we want her to do. We want so why should Dre and Snoop try to make a record like Young Thug or NLE Chopper? Why would they do that? Makes no damn sense. So the chemistry is right there. It's a solid balance. They remind us they have a classic chemistry, and they're not afraid to remind us they're legends. Okay? They are legends. And if you're a fan of that melodic West Coast vibe, or in general want real hip-hop, this album is a must. The Redman album, Snoop and Dre. Don't deprive yourself. Okay? If you like classic hip-hop, go get those albums. They let you know they're doing it. They're doing it. Okay? Oh, boy. All right, we got one more. All right? What'd I do? That's 3 album reviews? Right? Okay, here we go. Number 4. In case you missed it, okay, and I'm talking to my man Kenneth out there, because Kenneth and I had this conversation this week about the relevance of this artist and what they represent, because they got caught up in a little bit of a juxtaposition that they should not be in. And that's for y'all to discuss on other podcasts. But anyway, Fat Joe put out a new album, if you're not aware. The World Changed on Me. That's the name of the album. It's also out. Now, Fat Joe currently has a show on Stars where he's a TV, I won't say he's a host, but he's a TV interviewer, and he's going around talking to a lot of other artists and relevant people about almost like Anderson, a hip-hop Anderson Cooper. Where he's talking to people about their lives and what they do. He has a unique way of going about it. And I'm not sure how long the legs are. I don't know what the ratings are. But usually what rappers do is when they do anything, they do an album around it as well to double down on potential marketability and to make some money in their core area. So there's an album out called The World Changed on Me. It's a reflection of his resilience, growth, and adaptation in a current, ever-changing world. This sounds like a artist trying to stay relevant. That's just, unique way of trying to say that. Here's what's qualified. All right. He delves into themes of personal transformation and survival. Okay. Tracks like Stay True and Legacy show his right down the middle storytelling. And reminds us why he's been a mainstay in the industry for a few generations. All right. From his perspective, this isn't just a collection of songs. It's a journey through his perspective of life, success, and the challenges of staying relevant. Heard that part? Challenges of staying relevant. And here's what's verified. The production is a blend of old school and contemporary sounds. DJ Khaled makes his presence felt, although I do not personally like that song. While Remy Ma and Lil Wayne add their unique flavors to the project as well. Fat Joe's ability to bring people together, current, mainstream, and nostalgic, is a diverse group of collaborators, which shows his cohesive sound remains impressive and what he's able to pull together and make happen. Right. And what's certified? The album hasn't, and it won't. The album hasn't, and it won't receive much critical attention as far as albums go. But its core fan base, if you like a Fat Joe, they like it. They mess with the album. Okay. His listeners appreciate his honesty and depth, as well as his polished production, which it is. This project is his way of saying Fat Joe is still evolving and still has plenty to say. That's what it is. So what do these albums have in common? Or what is, what are we doing here? Okay. Well, these albums tell us about where urban music is today, or does it? Does it? Each one offers a unique perspective. SZA is pushing the boundaries of R&B, and she's at the head of the table in that scheme. Okay. Redman's reminding us the power of staying authentic. His album is classic in that sense. Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre are proving that legends can still innovate. That part is actually true. And Fat Joe is showing us the importance of growth and reflection. I'll take the reflection part. These albums document emotions, eras, and the evolution of the artists themselves. And that's the beauty of music, Goju Nation. It's timeless, yet always changing. And that the album review, guys, remember this. I'm doing these album reviews. Let me just as important. I'm not guessing. So if I say the album is good, the album is good. If I say the album has 15 filler songs, the album has 15 filler songs. Okay? It's not me guessing. Because I listen to these things not once. I listened to that Redman album 3 times. So I listened to 32 songs 3 times. I listened to that SZA album with 15 extra songs 3 times. Okay? So my opinion is from the, I delved into this thing. I didn't do it and wash clothes. Okay, so that's what that goes into. All right? Those are my album reviews. Now I got to rant. This Teddy Swims record with Giveon, which is a very good song, and I like the song a lot. You ready for this, Luigi? The song is 2 minutes and 8 seconds. What the hell is that? When did songs become 2 minutes? That's a movie trailer. It's not a song. That's a snippet. It's not a song. So I said, let me find out what's going on here. You ready for this, Luigi? The average R&B song in 1990 was 4 to 5 minutes. Average time, 4:15. Every single song. I'm talking about, anything from Biggie to Celine Dion. Okay, 4 minutes 50. Tony Braxton to Whitney Houston to Hanson. 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay, the average R&B song today is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, closer to 3 minutes. And I said, why? What? Look, Goju Nation, you're being robbed. You're being robbed. Why are you paying what you're paying for the artist to give you 2 minutes of song? That does not seem fair. Matter of fact, it's wrong. Okay? Why should you pay X amount of dollars to go to the show? Well, that's not true. At the show, they'll give you a longer version of the song. Okay? They'll care to do that. They'll care to do a longer version of the song. But in general, why are you paying for these albums if they're going to give you 2 minutes of song? Doesn't the artist have more to give? Isn't there more vocal expression to go in there? Doesn't the producer doesn't they want to showcase more of their abilities? Not just the chorus and the hook? halfway 2 times and say we're done? What are we doing? That Teddy Swim, what happened, this is what they did from a marketing standpoint with the Teddy Swims Give You on record. They shot the video. And basically, they put out a snippet of the video. And the snippet of the video has Teddy Swims going into Giveon. So you get about, say, 30 seconds of them each. And then the song says coming out on such and such day. So you're excited because you get 30, like, this is going to be great. And I listen to the song. The song is 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Giveon is not on the song for more than 45 seconds. But he's a guest appearance. What are we, can you, I'm laughing at myself because I know I'm not crazy, okay? And I'm sitting back and I'm saying, why are you paying for these projects if they're gonna give you half a record? Like, albums now are like 33 minutes. It's enough for you. It's enough for you to go to Target and come back home. You've heard the whole album. Like, what do we? What? I just believe we deserve more, Goju Nation. I believe the artist deserves to give us more, and I think that we shouldn't settle for them giving us half of a song or half of songs and saying this is what we got, or this is the extent of our creative expression. Because to me, I don't think you're being creative. I think you're being lazy. So, what do you think the real reason is why these songs are 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes? It's one word. It's one word. Well, before I get to that answer, let me walk this a little bit, okay? I got some notes here, all right? Let's talk about the 90s for a second. R&B songs typically had an average length of 4 to 5 minutes. This was due to the prevalence of radio play, extended intros and outros, and a focus on storytelling, vocal runs, and elaborate arrangements, which sounds like making music, doesn't it? That doesn't sound like something odd. That sounds like normal. Full album versions often included bridges, instrumental solos, and lush harmonies that extended the track length. That also sounds like making music. Does that sound like making music to you? Does that sound like constructing a building? That sounds like making music. Okay, here we go. 2020 R&B. The average length of the song is between 2.5 minutes. This reflects the influence, and here's the problem. This reflects the influence of streaming platforms. We'll stop. What the entire F? So because of streaming, let's be less creative? That's like saying, so we could put more people in the building, make the height of the floors shorter. That's like saying, because we want them to spend money in the parking lot, have less free parking spaces on the outside of the building. It's a straight money grab statement. It has nothing to do with creativity. It's a painful statement to hear. Where shorter songs allow for higher replay counts and a general trend towards concise, hook-driven production. Now, here's where it goes wrong. If the song's 2 minutes, I don't want to hear it 2-3 times. I'm mad because you cheated me for a 2-minute song. How about that for the other side of it? Also, let me hear it again because it's only 2 minutes. How about stop playing with me and make a real song? Or make a song of real length. Artists often focus on delivering impacted, digestible tracks with fewer extended sections. Let me tell you, let me read that statement again. And Luigi, you smart. When I say it again, you're going to say, yep. Artists often focus, no. Labels often focus on delivering impactful, digestible tracks with fewer extended sections. Stop putting that on the artist. That's BS. I'm calling straight BS on that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Key differences, 1990s, longer tracks with more emphasis on musical complexity and storytelling. Sounds like real music to me. 2020s, shorter, more minimalist. Minimalist? What is that? These key words are all painful for me. Okay. Productions tailor for streaming consumption. Can I get off the ride now? Because that ride, I don't think you want to be on that ride. I don't want to be on that ride. That sounds like, how do we take advantage of the consumers? What that sounds like in one sentence to me. And I'm saying it out loud, Goju Nation. This is the beauty of this podcast. I don't care. I don't work for Sony. I don't work for Columbia. I don't work for Giveon. I don't work for Rock Nation. Don't matter to me. I don't care how they feel about it. Because it is what it is. Okay, within that sense. Like that rant? That was cute, right? Catch the socials, Goju Nation. X. Threads, Facebook, IG, and of course YouTube. Okay, Gotham Jungle, one word on all platforms. Like, follow, share, subscribe, comment to be an official member of Goju Nation. I'm looking forward to your comments to help us get better so we can get right and get better. Okay? In my world, I want to thank Raekwon, Pop Grizz, Shauna Lee, Kenneth, and the grand architect of the universe. Lastly, remember, light and darkness cannot coexist at the same time. So if you choose to be one, choose to be the light. Thank you, Goju Nation.